Be a part of the conversation.
Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. We are so glad you could join us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. What the World Health Organization describes as the tobacco epidemic kills over 7 million people every year, close to 900,000 of them non-smokers who have breathed in atmospheric tobacco smoke. According to the Apex Health body, tobacco kills up to half its users. Approximately 80% of the world's 1.1 billion smokers are from developing countries. Apart from the serious health consequences smoking has for the body, involving several organs, it also comes with social consequences. My guest is a consultant psychiatrist, the medical director and chief executive officer of Pinnacle Medical Services, Dr. Maimuna Kadiri. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, traditionally they tell us smoking can cause cancer, it can cause lung problems, but now we are hearing about a link to smoking and heart trouble.
Yes.
Let's first talk about the lung consequences. What does it do to the lungs?
Yeah, a lot of times it's because, for every smoke of tobacco, we have over about 4,000 chemicals in it, and about 250 of those 4,000 are harmful, and about 50 of them are cancerous.
Okay.
So you can imagine the magnitude it does to the lungs. So what happens is that when somebody takes smoke, it has tar. So one of the chemicals in it is tar. So when people take it, within 10 seconds, it hits the lungs. In a way, it reduces the air content of the lungs, the way, the breathing as it is. So what happens is that the fact that with time, people always tell themselves that it helps them reduce anxiety, it helps them to take care of stress, forgetting that that is not actually the benefit. On the long run, it can lead to lung diseases. These lung diseases, not only cancerous, but other diseases that can affect the lungs.
Does it make the lungs stiff?
Yes, stiff. Shrunken, thick, darkened, cancer. So infections of the lungs, cancers of the lungs, different lung diseases along the way.
So getting a full breath would be difficult?
Would be difficult with time. You see them having shortness of breath, finding difficult to breathe. They go breathless sometimes. And it's not just a one-off thing. It's over a period of time.
But does it poke holes in the lungs too?
Yeah, it can. There's so many, not because we don't see the lungs, we wouldn't know the extent of damage until maybe the person goes for a random chest x-ray, or the person is already exhibiting some symptoms, maybe not breathing well, or having recurrent flu or cold, or having issues with cancer, cough, or some other physical illnesses that accidentally they would discover that this person is already at risk. Because when you come to the hospital, they will ask you, they will take your history and they will ask you some of the habits you've been having over time. So like, do you smoke? Do you drink? And if you say you smoke, that could give a hint to the doctor that, okay, maybe this coughing may be as a result of smoking. And then the duration too. If you've been smoking for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it's something that every physician should actually watch out for. It's okay, let's just do a basic chest x-ray to even find out if there's any problem.
So tell us about these heart diseases that suddenly are coming to light.
Funny enough, it has always been there because the risk factors, we have risk factors. And in medicine, these are the things we are being told. So we're taking history, like I said earlier on, you must ask those questions. So this is what happens how this thing leads to heart disease. So when people smoke, what happens is that it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood.
Okay.
So by doing that,
yes, that's the reason, because the lungs are already reduced.
Exactly. So oxygen carrying capacity, and then tobacco has this poisonous substance it brings, carbon monoxide. So oxygen carrying capacity is reduced, carbon monoxide is replaced, and then that also increases the tendency to have blood clots, which narrows down the arteries. So blood clots, at the end of the day, that person is at risk of having heart disease, heart attack, stroke, and possibly death. So you see the sequelae of how
how
it happened from reducing the oxygen capacity of the heart rate, and then replaced by carbon monoxide, then thinning out of the
constricting the vessels,
blood vessels, and then blood clots, stroke, heart attack, death can come in.
Wow. Okay, now the World Observance, that's the World No Tobacco Day.
Yes.
They are encouraging a 24-hour abstinence from smoking.
Yeah.
Why only 24 hours? And will it make a difference if it's just 24 hours that a person stops smoking?
Good, it will. There's impact of quitting.
Okay.
Within 20 minutes that the person quits, the blood pressure and the pulse rate comes back to normal.
20 minutes?
Within 20 minutes. Within 8 hours, so we haven't got it to the 24
That's
hours.
right.
Within 8 hours, the oxygen carrying capacity that we talked about earlier on is also reversed, so there's better circulation. Then within 24 hours, then you find out that the carbon monoxide that we talked about that is replacing the oxygen carrying capacity is eliminated. And then within 72 hours, the lungs get to have more air in.
Wow.
And then, of course, they start breathing. Then within that, so we talked about 10 minutes, 8 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours. Then in 5 years, the heart attack we talked about earlier on, it reduces by half. The risk.
Okay, we are talking about a smoker already.
Yeah, already.
He's
yes.
already a
smoker. Yes.
These are the benefits of stopping.
Of stopping, yes.
Over time.
Over time, yes.
So after 5 years,
it reduces the impact, the risk of you having a heart attack by half. In 10 years, it reduces it by half for those that may likely have lung cancer. In 15 years, most times it reverses back to
everything.
As if you've never
as if it
before.
never happened.
Yes. So there's good news for those people that are elderly, that can stick. So you can still quit now, even if you are old.
So quitting is good at any time.
Because there's some particular studies that shows that at 66, those that still had a good mindset to stop, still had extra 2 hours for the males and extra 4 hours for the females to live before death. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's good to
now,
quit.
what if